Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Saturday training. It was these Saturdays throughout my career that really impacted my business, my personal growth, my organization, and my skills, because this was all new to me 16 years ago. My name is Eileen Tesch, and I will be your host this morning. My husband and I have been involved with Relive over 16 years. We both came from corporate backgrounds. I was an attorney. He was a veterinarian and owned a private practice. And both of us were crazy busy. But when I just started to learn the Relive success system and work with my mentor and my support team, the world changed for me. Instead of the little box that I had always been in, and many of us have been in that box. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, work real hard, you'll be set for life. That's the box. But when you step out of that box and start thinking about building something, growing, stretching, Relive is there to help you every step of the way. So we're going to talk about building your Relive business, whether you want just part-time income or you'd like to replace your full-time career. And you know what we've been through in these last 2 years, everybody is looking for something that they can either start building from home, because the uncertainty in the economy, in the marketplace, Relive will never go out of style. Relive is a necessity. Food, clothing, shelter. Those are the 3 priorities that everybody is really looking for right now. So decide what you want, and more importantly, you've got to write it down. Now, I read many success books throughout my career, and I wrote down my goals, kind of, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't really believable, I guess, until I got involved with Relive. And because of the support team, when we wrote down our goals, we took another step and took action. And whether that action was, as Dawn and I were talking about, and many others here on the training, when we've earned trips and promotions, we've had visuals all over our houses and our purses, wherever we were going, to remind us, stay on track, to remind us, take action. And here's what is happening now with Relive. We have promo 1, 2, 3. Promo 1, free credit, free product credit, if you get 5 new customers. And those don't always have to be new customers each month, but that they are ordering at least $100 in product, in retail, and $200 product credit for 10 new customers. And there's the Quick Start bonus. A Quick Start is really a great place for people to get started. It usually gives them about a 90-day order, products for one person, 90 days. And there is, I often send to my new clients and retail customers and new distributors, the golden rules of wellness. And one of the first of the golden rules is it takes at least 90 days for anything in the body to heal. So that's what I show people, and that's why I encourage them to get started. It retails for $500, but immediately they can save 25%, or $75 or $125. But when you help 3 people do this, then you will get a $250 bonus. But you get a $100 bonus when you help 2 people get started. And the promo 3 is a $100 bonus for a master affiliate. That's at the top profit level. A lot of people now that I'm working with, instead of them going out, people are getting prepped. They're becoming preppers. They're looking long term. And so they have decided to make a business decision and get started at the top profit level. And instead of going out there and buying their different, there's food packages, you know, that will last you 6 months or a year. As one woman said, I decided not to spend the $5,000 to get that, I think it was called Patriot Food Supply or something. I decided to invest my money and get to the profit level, which is the the company sent you $2,500 in products and you immediately save 35%. And she said, I have to stay healthy and strong. And I know that Relive is the best nutrition. So plan of action, what are you gonna do to achieve your goals? And I have a book, people ask me, how do I get organized? So I just have a regular notebook and at the top of each page, I write the date. And then I write down what my daily activities are gonna be in 10 days, my 10 top priorities for that day. And you must be specific. I also have a calendar so I can look at the week and then I can look at the month. And I work closely with my organization, but also in the beginning, working with my support team, my mentor, to help me tweak those goals, to make them so that I can accomplish them. And in the beginning, I didn't really think that it was possible because I saw all these other people that had had all this success and they had these big organizations. But I remember my mentors told me, Eileen, every day, the key to success is doing a little bit every day, reaching out to one person every day. Because I was working 7 days a week, 100 hours a week. So I had to do this around my very busy schedule. But because of the Relive Success System, it kept me going and helped me to accomplish little goals that then turned into big goals. And here we are 16 years later. So these are the 3 C's of life: choices, chances, and changing and change. And you must make the choice to take a chance if you want anything in life to change. And I love this quote. This was very uncomfortable for us in the beginning. My husband, he said, don't get me involved in anything. And I said, we have to do something here. And we're going to hear some of the stories, but I was just kind of mesmerized about the uniqueness and power of the Relive system. And yes, it was uncomfortable for me, but I was so unhappy being an attorney and so depressed that I knew that no matter what, even if I never made a dime in this business, to be around these kind of people that were changing others' lives and reaching out to others and experiencing the joy of what happens when people get results with these products and share their stories. I had one woman just yesterday, as a matter of fact, for the past 4 months, she has not been able to walk on her right leg. And I asked her what happened, and she said, "Well, I got sick in December, and they didn't know what it was. I didn't test positive for COVID, but I was very, very sick. And now, 4 months later, I can't walk." And so I have been talking to her about Relive for 1 year. And a year ago, she said, "Oh, I can't get, I'm not interested in Relive. My husband and I just purchased $500 in products from our natural path. So we're going to do that." I said, "Great." But I stick with her. We built a relationship. And now after she has found herself in this situation, she decided, you know what, Eileen, I need to do something. My daughter is getting married in 90 days, and I want to be able to walk down the aisle. So we put her goals together, we identified what results she wanted, and that we started our journey. And it's as simple as that. So this is the business of Relive. And why should people do business with you? The same reason why people want to be around leaders, because they know you're going somewhere, you're doing something, you're making a difference. And the important part is that you don't need to know everything in the beginning. My mentor told me, Eileen, don't talk so much. The less you say, the more money you make and the more people you help. Just plug them into the system. Let them see the bigger picture. Let them, my number one goal with people, yes, I share the business, yes, I share the Relive story, but my number one goal is to get them on the product so they can feel the Relive experience. And there's nothing like it. So back to my friend, she got started. And when I talked to her yesterday or the day before, it had been just about a week that she'd been on the products. And she said, oh, my knee, you know, from not being able to walk on my ankle, on my right leg, my knee, I think I hurt my knee. And she said, but I took my shake at night and took my Lunarich X capsules, 4 of them before bed, and woke up without any pain. And so, and I'm just, you know, once a lawyer, always a lawyer. For any new people on the call, I have to make this disclaimer that Relive does not claim to cure, treat, or heal anything. It simply helps the body do what God intended it to do, and that's to heal itself. But we've got to get that engine running. Most people's engine is just sputtering along. We're not getting the right nutrients that we need. We're certainly not getting them in the amount we need, in the quality we need to keep this engine. As the great Vince Lombardi said, that God created this body that can handle almost anything. So Relive is the answer. So know your business. And this is one of my favorite quotes from Bob Montgomery. Relive is a personal growth program disguised as a business. And, you know, I don't know about you, but I had been to many motivational seminars. Even my first conference with Relive, I was resistant in going. I'm like, I don't need any rah-rah, you know, motivational seminar. I've been to many and nothing changed. But one thing I found with Relive, when I went to that conference, I opened my mind, I listened to see, okay, is this for me? Is this something that I think I can do? But what really changed everything is that I knew that there were going to be people that would come alongside me to help me. And, you know, average people like us, unless you're in some kind of sports, you don't have coaches. You know, the biggest thing these days, one of the most popular, I guess, degrees that people are getting is the life coach. They're becoming life coaches. Well, I mean, again, I needed somebody who could help me to get from point A to point B. And that's what I found with Relive. And that's what was so intriguing, that somebody, and the woman that trained me had a high school education. She was a single mother. She was a flight attendant, but she made over $1 million in a handful of years with this business. And so I knew that she knew what I didn't know. And I felt so blessed. And as I said, where else can you go to get that kind of coaching and mentoring? So Positively Charged has been put together now that more people are going online to help you grow your business. If you are not part of that Facebook group, it is a private group. ask your upline or one of us to invite you in. And then there is a number of other ways that you can help grow your business. And we'll talk more about that as we go here. Okay, so IXAR. IXAR, I hate to use this example, but it's kind of like McDonald's. Okay, we all know McDonald's in the beginning was all beef patty, secret sauce, sesame seed bun. So there's a system, and a system is what is the key to success. And IXAR is our system. And you can go on the corporate website and watch the videos of getting started and how IXAR is like a wheel. And as you go each step, how your business continues to grow. So identify, connect, share, ask for a decision, and register and go. So what is identify? Simple. Who do you want to talk to? And in the beginning, my mentor said, Eileen, who's on your heart? Because I thought, well, I really don't know anybody. And I hang out with a bunch of lawyers and, they're not really health conscious or interested necessarily in a business. So I was making one excuse after another. But when my mentor said, Eileen, you became a lawyer because you wanted to help people, right? And I said, yes. All right. Well, then start listening with your heart instead of your head, and listen for people's needs and what they're looking for. And they'll tell you, if it's on their heart, believe me, it'll come out of their mouth. And then you simply identify them, make a note, write their names down. You don't have to start talking about Relive right then and there. Just say, you know what? Why don't we get back together? I'd like to share something with you or talk to you more about what I found. So connect. Here, you can set up an appointment, you can connect online, but what is so important is that don't go out and be, a Relive distributor. Just be yourself. And, because my friends and family and clients, everybody knew me as the lawyer. But it's been amazing to see the transformation of being trained in Relive and getting out of that law business to where I am now. But I was consistent. I made a lot of mistakes. People ran away, and because I was very loud and aggressive, as most attorneys. But I had to learn to become, get out of my head and into my heart and be real. And let people know that I was there, that I cared. And that's why I was sharing it with them. And what they decided to do was up to them. But I was not attached to the outcome. And the same happens even when you are working with people online. It's a little more difficult with being online because you have to build that trust. So focus on their needs. And why do people do business with you? Why do people hang out with you? Because they know and trust you. And that sometimes takes time to build. So share, find out, as I said, what their needs are, what's on their heart, and how Relive can help them. And again, just share a story. If you're new, you say, well, I don't know any stories. That I have a woman I work with, she's 92 years young, Irma Schneider. Many of you have heard her story or listened to her share her journey. And she said every day she gets up and she says her prayers and she does her exercises, and then she listens to a Relive story. Because when you're putting all that positive energy, those words of encouragement and joy and love into your head, it comes out your heart. And they say if 5 minutes of positive energy words helps strengthen the immune system and increases the endorphins, and you're just euphoric. But remember, 5 minutes of negativity, criticism, demeaning words, or even words of frustration. That not only breaks down the immune system, but people can feel that. And they don't want to be around that. People want to be around happy, excited people. Oftentimes, when we meet someone new, they will say to my husband and I, "What are you two on?" And we start, there's the door, and we start telling them about Relive and that we found something that has changed our lives. And am I coming through okay, Dawn?
Yes, you are. You sound great.
Thank you. I just had a flash on the screen here. Okay, and the vision for Relive. What Relive, we don't make any promises. As I said, we don't make any claims. We just share with them. We've been around 33 years. That Relive has changed hundreds of thousands of lives. And people are skeptical. People have heard all this, all of these claims or all these companies out there. But we bring it down to earth, and we bring it through the connection of having others share their stories. And one thing I must say, that hearing the stories not only changed my heart, as I said, and my desire to do this business, but once I learned the skill of sharing the stories, how to connect people, how to make them want to listen to a story. Because oftentimes, especially if you're new, but we hear it every day, somebody will say, "Oh, I don't need to hear any stories. I trust you." No. So I make sure they understand the value of connecting with this person. And I set it up. You've got to meet this friend of mine. She's helped me so much, and she's helped so many people. She knows so much. She can answer your questions and help you get faster results. Is that good with you? And 99% of the time, oh, absolutely. I had one woman call, and she called me back after I connected her with a story, and she said, "I just wanted to thank you and your friend for taking the time." So people, when you make it about them and you explain the value, you show them the value, they so appreciate that. So talking about stories, I've asked a few people to come on and share their stories. And we have, it's part of Positively Charged. You can go into the menu, and it'll show you exactly step by step how to share your story. And most importantly, write it out. It's going to continue to change and develop as you grow in this business. So with that, I'd like to first bring on my friend Doris Haskins. And Doris and I pretty much started together in this business, and she's been an inspiration to me. Thank you, Doris. I see you're driving. Oh, ask to unmute.
She is unmuted.
All right. Doris, she's unmuted, but we can't hear her.
We'll come back to her.
Okay, great. Becky Haddix from California. Are you there?
I am here, Eileen.
Thank you. And I just want to say, Becky and I do calls. We call them a power hour. And we do that once a week. It's a set time and day. And we go back and forth with our customers, distributors, new people, just sharing our stories. And not only is it great for follow-up, but also just reconnecting and giving people a reason for them to take action and to stay consistent. So she's been we've had a ball. So thank you so much, Becky. If you would just share what Relive has done for you, your health and business, that would be fabulous.
Oh, I'm delighted to be on with you today, Eileen. And I am Rebecca Haddix, Valley Springs, California. My background is in fitness and management, and I had gone back to school for an MBA, thought that would solve all my problems. And I ended up at Starbucks as a store manager, and I was burned out. I was looking for something I could do from home that would actually make a difference in people's lives. So my son, Mike, was diagnosed very young with ADHD, anxiety, depression, even bipolar as a teenager. And he was bright, but he was always in trouble at school, fighting all the time. He spent as much time home suspended as he did at school. And we were on a roller coaster of medications, always looking for something that would help him that he didn't have a reaction to. And the side effects were pretty scary. I did not know how to help him. So he comes to me as a young man and says, Mom, you have to look at this stuff I've been taking. I feel normal for the first time in my life. And that got my attention. So I got started. And for me, it was complete relief from the joys of menopause. All the hot flashes and the night sweats and the brain fog all stopped very quickly. And I even avoided hormone replacement therapy. So I was pretty excited. My son is, of course, the best part of the story. He has been medication free for well over a decade, thriving. I am so grateful to the person that took the time to share this with him. Everything we had hoped for him has come to pass, and it's because of Relive. So I was pretty excited about what happened for me. So I reached out to my brother, very busy doctor, OBGYN, and boy, was he skeptical. He said, not looking at that unless I can see some science. So of course we had science, and I sent him the science and had to badger him a little bit to get him started. But after he'd been on the products for a month or two, he called me and he says, wow, I don't know what's in this stuff, but I need to share this with my patients. Will you help me? And we've been doing this actively for a long time. We've helped hundreds of his patients with this amazing nutrition. It's been so much fun working with my brother and helping him to build a customer base. So what I did not know at the time was how sick he was. He was looking at disability. After a day of surgery, his hands were so bad that he couldn't even bend his fingers. And he was pretty down and got started on the products. And within a matter of a couple of months, he realized that he, as long as he was taking his shakes, he wasn't having any of those issues. So I knew I was onto something. I knew that I had found something that possibly I could do. So I got with my mentor, sat down, made the business decision to step in, and we put together a business plan, and I just got started. I got to work, and I began to earn right away $500 to $600 a month, which really surprised me. And I knew I didn't want to go back into a corporate job. So I really made the commitment to myself to work with my team and to be consistent and do at least a little bit of Relive every single day. And I've just stayed focused all these years on building my network. And my highest month's earnings has been over $5,000, which was more than I made as a Starbucks store manager. And I've been second in the nation in volume and earned some great bonuses. And I just love what I do. I still work with my mentor, and I like to pay it forward. I like to show people how fun it can be to work from home without a boss and earn great income and help people along the way. And Relive has been a great blessing in our lives. I love what I do. I like being able to show people that they actually have options. And if we listen to what they're telling us, they will tell us what they need. And then we can show them how Relive might be an answer for them, whether it's health or income or both, or just meeting a whole bunch of really nice people. So I'll never stop sharing Relive. And I got to say, Eileen has become one of my very best friends. She's out in Michigan, I'm in California, but we still can connect on such a real level. I just love that. And I did want to quickly say, here in California on June 25th, we are having Scott and Kari Montgomery coming out. We're going to have a big event at one of the hotels in the Bay Area, and I'm so excited about that. So if you know anybody in California or even close, Oregon, Arizona, let them know, and we would love to fill the room for Scott and Kari. And again, thank you, Eileen, for asking me to share.
Oh, my pleasure. And Becky, I just have one question, if you could share with everyone. What is the one avenue, I guess, that you use to meet new people?
Oh, one of my favorite things is farmers markets.
Okay.
I set up a booth, and over the years, I've just really I've got some great signs, and I have this cool metabolic scale that those of us here in California bought about, I don't know, 12 years ago, and that's a real draw. I put people on that scale, give them a metabolic reading, and boy, does that open the door to talk to people about their health. It's been really fun, and it's just a great way to meet people, because people at the markets are looking for health. So it's a perfect venue for me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And then, Boris, are you available? Are you connected?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please. Would you share a little bit about your health journey, please?
Thank you. Doris Haskins in Michigan, and I retired from the Detroit Public Library. As a teenager, I had a rollover car accident that created partial paralysis, herniated discs, bulging discs, bone spurs, and it just went from there on. The older I got, the more things seemed to happen, sinuses, different things. Was always on a lot of heavy medication. And that medication we thought would be short-lived, but 41 years later, I still was on heavy medication for my back and neck. That compromised my system, had me hospitalized for over 30 some days. At the end of that, the doctor said there wasn't anything else to do. Get your affairs in order. At that time, the nutrition from Relive came into my life. We aggressively took it. The first thing I saw was enough energy to sit up on my own, something that I hadn't been able to do for a couple of weeks. And it just was moving forward. I was consistent with the nutrition. I loved what it did for me inside. There were ups and downs, but that's with anything that had been that long as going on in my body. But what happened with that is we went to physical therapy, and as they say, it took. I was able to actually return to work, something the doctors did not think would happen. They expected me to live my life out in a wheelchair at that time, but I continued to be consistent with my nutrition and retired from that wonderful job. Well, what happened with that not only was just the fact that I could go to work, I could be involved in my family. I was able to see my children graduate from high school and college, to be able to do the things that they wanted to do as successful young women. I was able to stand, walk, and dance, one of my loves. So it was wonderful to go back to ballroom dancing, be able to keep up with my 3-year-old grandson, and be able to keep up with him and say, let's go, each and every day. So for me, the Relive Nutrition is something that as a family, we are always involved in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doris. And next, I'd like to go to one of my mentors, also in California, who has helped me so much through the years. We are like sometimes oil and water, but he is his experiences in corporate America, his training in helping people in their careers has been such a blessing to me. And so I would like Richard Vance, if you would join us and share. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. He doesn't get up for just anyone.
I don't get up for just anyone out here on the West Coast, and here you were able to convince Becky to come out of out of bed too and join you this morning. So, hey, my name is Richard Vance. What is this oil and water thing, Eileen? I thought we got along so well.
Perfect.
Well, I am Richard Vance from California. I'm a retired director of technology for Bank of America. And my journey to Relive began a little bit differently. It began with meeting the woman who would later become my wife. And it's funny, as we were dating, we really didn't talk business at all. I didn't really talk about mine, which is boring. And she didn't really talk about hers, other than she decided that she wanted me on these Relive products because she wanted me around for a very long, long time and wanted me to be healthy. Well, I had always been that healthy guy. Honestly, I just didn't get sick. I I was blessed with good health, a strong immune system, and I thought life is great. And I was a little surprised after an annual physical when my doctor mentioned that I really should be on a statin. I have a family history of heart disease. My dad had a heart attack at 57. His dad had a stroke at 58. And at the time, I was in my early 50s, and she recommended that I get on a statin just to keep my cholesterol under control. And I really didn't want to do that. I didn't want to start taking a medication if I didn't have to. It was just about that time Relive came out with a product specifically for heart health. And I started using that product faithfully, along with the basic nutrition. And I saw my cholesterol come down. Actually, it came down into a healthy range. My doctor continued to watch me and keep an eye on things. And then we came out with another product, that Lunison product, that epigenetic nutrition, that also has a positive effect on controlling cholesterol. And in fact, it's got clinical studies behind it to demonstrate that. So I started using that along with the Cardio Essentials and saw my cholesterol drop some more into a real healthy range that made my doctor really happy. And I was able to stay off that medication. Well, life does catch up with you sometimes. And about a year and a half ago, I had a heart attack. Not a bad one. Actually, I walked into the emergency room thinking I just had some anxiety, that, I just felt like I was having kind of almost a panic attack. And the next thing I knew, I was being told that I'd had a mild heart attack. And fortunately, it was one of those where they put a stent into one artery and everything was fine. But what was interesting is while I was in the hospital and they did all these tests on me, the doctor came back and said, I'm really surprised about you having this issue, because the rest of your heart is in such great shape. For your age, you have the heart of an athlete. And it pointed out that there was just one artery that seemed to have had some collected cholesterol and resulted in my coming to the hospital that day. So I was really surprised at how overall my heart was healthy and strong. And I really do credit the nutrition that I've had through the years with keeping me that way. So it was a great wake-up call. I came out of there even more passionate about taking care of my health, exercising, and making sure I have great nutrition. And that's where Relive fits perfectly into my life, more as a preventative, basically keeping myself healthy and wanting to live my life for a very, very long time and being active and participate in everything that life has to offer. Well, now I mentioned to you that my wife introduced me, and my wife was already successful in Relive when I met her. She was about 7 years into the business and I had already made a name for herself with this company. And it was interesting because at the time I was 20 years with Bank of America. I was an executive with the company and thought I was doing pretty well, but my income wasn't much more than Linda's at that time. And folks, this is where I learned the difference between being a corporate person and being an entrepreneur. Because you see, after we got married and Linda continued to work her career and I continued to work mine, my income was basically being controlled year to year by how well the company did. Not so much how well I did, but how well the company did. Linda went out and worked a little harder and she was able to double her income. And a few years after that, she doubled it again. In fact, she got her income up as high as $43,000 in a calendar month. Trust me, that bank was never going to pay me that kind of money. Well, fast forward again. I reached 30 years with that company, and right about 2008, and things began to change. I was that guy that was laying people off. I was that guy that was taking away benefits for my employees and rolling back their salaries because we were going into this recession. And that's what I had to do as a corporate person. All the things I loved about my job went away. And Linda came to me and said, you don't have to do that. Because of my Relive business, you have choices. If that's not what you want to do, join me, retire, join me in my business. And that's what I did. I was able to retire at 30 years, 55 years of age, and retire from that business and join Linda in her business. And I did it with one caveat, by the way. I told her that even though I had been around Relive for 10 years at that time, I had never done Relive, and I needed a mentor. I needed somebody to teach me how to do this business. And folks, that's what you're doing right now. By joining these training calls like this, you're helping to build that skill set that you need to do this business well and have the confidence to do it. And that's what Linda gave me. Since then, since joining Relive, I've been able to work with my wife. We've been able to expand our business into 14 countries around the world, have an amazing life, a life that's done on our terms. But I think even better, the number of people that we've reached out to and been able to help either increase their family income, or even better, just give them a better position in life and their health so that they can live their life to their fullest. And I think that's what we do. We're just the vehicle that allows people to see the opportunities to live their life at their best level. And it's something that I'm amazingly joyful for, something I never saw on that corporate side. And I can't imagine doing anything else, Eileen. This is where I want to be, and working with people just like you.
Thank you so much, Richard. So appreciate you and everyone that shared today. And we're just going to finish up here, talking again about the Positively Charged Facebook page. There's weekly events going on that you can invite people to come to. And then in your working with your mentor, the three-way calls. I thought this was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Never heard of three-way calls. I barely did any kind of conference calls. But the three-way call is simply inviting your new person and connecting them on the call with another Relive distributor or mentor to share what has happened to them, their personal experience. And it really, I didn't get it in the beginning. And as you've all heard, especially if you've been around, oh, I don't need to hear stories. Well, one of the top leaders in our company, Tom Pinnock, said, people will forget what they heard faster than they will forget how they felt about what they heard. And if you leave people better than you found them, sure, they're not going to know everything about these products, all the technical, scientific, the studies. But the important thing is that they know you care and that you're going to be there every step of the way to help them to achieve their goals, to feel better, to, just as Richard said, get more out of life. And then you ask for a decision. And always, I was taught early on, simply ask, not where do they want to get started, but say, how can, do you want to get started with the Mighty Three, which is the core nutrition, energize, and fiber store? That's what we got started on, because the young lady that shared it with us, she said, here's the products. So that's all we knew. But now Relive has advanced and developed new products. Richard touched on it. The epigenetic nutrition called LunaRich. If you don't know a lot about it, don't worry, you don't need to. But that really, in talking to a number of the leaders in the company, that should be just as much a part of the core nutrition. So, but the important thing is to ask for a decision. They don't know what to do. You have to help them make a good decision, and always affirm you get 100% money back guarantee. If you're a customer or preferred customer, and as a distributor, you get a 1-year 100% buyback guarantee. And register and go. It's so simple. You can download the Relive app right on your phone, register them right there. For some people, I still do the hard application, because some people, they want to see everything. It's okay, meet them wherever they're at. The most important thing is get them into the system um, get them, get their order. Wherever they want to start is a good decision. Some people only want to start with a can of core nutrition, either the classic or the now. That's great. Now, then I always encourage, obviously, the energize, hydration. So many people are dehydrated. And we have now options. We have the Energize Go, our newest products, love it. And that is really cutting edge hydration. We have the traditional formulas as well as the low sugar. So, and remember, don't do anything by yourself. Get together with your upline, your mentor, whoever you're working with, or you can reach out. Everybody in Relive, that's why we love it. Everybody works together. Don't do it alone. Go out 2 by 2 and help them, and let them see the reality of Relive. So customer care. One thing in the beginning, I said what people were calling me to follow up with me when I was new, and I'm like, I don't need to hear these calls. And then, but somebody said, when was the last time you bought something? And somebody called you, somebody from the company called you up, not sent you an email, but called you up personally and asked you about your experience and what you like best, and maybe even how they could improve. And that's what Relive's about. We want to make their experience with Relive amazing, that there's nothing like it out there, and that we have the proof. Not only the people, their passion, but these products that 33 years are still the leader, not only in patented nutrition, but now in the field of nutritional. So stay consistent. That is the key to success in anything you do, whether it's exercising, getting into shape, starting a business. Every day, write it down. What are you going to do today to move your business forward? And focus on income producing activities, not cleaning your desk, not getting your new binder together, or new product sheets, or looking at the clinical studies. No, the only income producing activity we have is getting someone on the products, getting them started, or getting them to the next level, or finding out what they want. If they want a business, and asking for referrals. That is the key to every business. It's such I consider it so honored. And I'm so honored and humbled when somebody says, I referred them to you because they need to get on these products and they need to hear about Relive. And make a long-term commitment, 6 months, a year, think about it. It goes so fast. This is June 4th. It's just scary how fast the time is going. But this is the time to plan. And we have our corporate conference coming up in St. Louis. Obviously, we haven't had one in the last 2 years. We're so excited to get back together, hear from the leaders, hear from what's happening in the product development with new and cutting edge products, what people need out there to take their quality of life to a whole new level. So we're so excited. And again, thank you all for joining us this morning, and much success, and God bless you all.
Great job, Eileen.
Oh, thank you,
Eileen.